You've said throughout your life your hero is you 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So where's Matthew McConaughey 10 years from now? Who's your hero?
You know, I was thinking the other day, the man I am now, am I the hero to the who I was 10 years ago? And it's like my mind automatically went, no, I'm still 10 years out.
Matthew McConaughey, Hollywood star, now embracing an unexpected new role. A fierce advocate for the children and families of his hometown, Uvalde. Just hours after the massacre shook the country, McConaughey took to Instagram, saying this is an epidemic we can control. We all know we can do better. We must do better. McConaughey and his family traveled to Uvalde shortly afterwards.
We don't know what we're going to run into. We don't know exactly how we're going to be needed. Let's just go and show up. That 90% thing of it is showing up, and we did.
Less than 2 weeks later, he visited the White House and gave an emotional and powerful message from the briefing room.
Maite wore green high-top Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting. How about that?
I've seen a lot of celebrities come to the White House on various causes, but I have never seen somebody do quite what you did when you stood at that podium just after the massacre at Robb Elementary and spoke from the heart. I mean, this was something that obviously hit you really hard, hit all of us hard, but really hit you.
Yeah, it did. You know, it happened in my hometown.
McConaughey catapulted to Hollywood fame after starring in the 1993 coming-of-age film Dazed and Confused.
I thought he was cute.
Oh, that's you thought he was cute?
He starred in a series of blockbuster romantic comedies, including How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, you are already falling in love with me.
He won an Oscar for his performance in Dallas Buyers Club.
I'm gonna be a pain in your ass till I'm 6 feet under, big boy.
Now McConaughey is determined to be a pain in the real world, fighting to make schools safer.
We start right now by voting to pass policies that can keep us from having as many Columbine, Sandy Hooks, Parklands, Las Vegases, Buffaloes, and Uvaldes from here on.
That was over a year ago.
Yes.
I remember what you said. You said that there's a window to get something done.
Right.
And something was done, you know, a bipartisan bill.
32 days later.
Yep. The Bipartisan Safer Communities Act was signed into law last June, the first major gun safety legislation in more than 30 years.
It's got all these grants that can help secure schools physically. It's also for mental health counseling for the kids in these schools. It's the first time it's happened. Bipartisan, it's come together, it's there. And it's already working in some ways. But there's billions of dollars that are still left to be spent.
Because schools have to apply for these grants to get the money for safety, for mental health programs.
It's a competitive process. The school, one, has to be aware, which a lot of them aren't, I found out. I was very surprised I found out. Some weren't even aware. Two, you have to apply for the grant, which we researched that. That's not an easy thing.
McConaughey and his wife, Camilla, stepping into action.
But now, we have a solution. The Green Lights Grant Initiative. It will, one, get the word out that this money is there for schools that want and need it. Two, it will help school administrators apply for these grants by letting them know when the deadlines are.
The initiative aims to connect schools with billions of dollars in federal grants that must be used by 2026.
When Camilla and I went to Uvalde, the parents and the family members of the children that were killed asked for one thing: make their lives matter. These school districts that need these services, the securing of the schools and the mental health counseling, that need these resources that this bill gives, are not getting it. They don't have access to it. And we're trying to connect them to that.
You know, some people talk about like armed guards at schools,
right.
Arming teachers, some
Sure.
people.
Yep.
And some people talk about, I mean, obviously gun measures,
Right.
Mental health. So what is this stuff going to?
So on the securing the school side, it can be threat assessment, to a panic button, to metal detectors, to even bulletproof glass. We've talked to a school that had one counselor, mental health counselor, for 2,500 students. that math doesn't really add up. So you need more mental health counselors. Want to get that ratio down. No, it's not the end-all solution, but it's damn sure a step in the right direction. This is use it or lose it money.
McConaughey worked with politicians on both sides of the aisle to get this legislation passed, raising curiosity about his own political views and ambitions. I've heard you call yourself aggressively centrist.
Sure.
What does that mean?
All right, aggressively centrist. Well,
those centrists aren't usually aggressive.
Oh, they didn't used to be.
Yeah.
They didn't used to be, right? I actually think being aggressively in the center now is a punk rock position. I think it's a rebellious position. And what I mean, to use a sports analogy, I love this analogy, is it's like playing free safety. You're in the middle of the field to see what play is run so you know whether to go right or to go left. Aggressively centric is read the play, react, and you go there and go, yep, it's a little bit of a red choice here. It's a little bit of a blue. That makes a lot of sense. You know what?
Could you see yourself running for something? I mean, could you see yourself?
Could I see? It's more of a larger question for me of is politics the category where I can be the most useful?
Or can you do more outside, like what you're doing here?
There's a great question that I'm still answering. And as of right now, to be a private citizen with my wife and to come up with an idea like the Green Lights Grant Initiative to work with the government publicly to help them, not doing their job for them, helping them pull off what they set out to do in the first place. There is argument that it could be more useful than what I'm doing right now in a small way.
Hey, thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the time.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.